Project 2025 isn't a rumor or a theory. It's a real written plan, found online for anyone to read. It lays out exactly how the future of this country could be reshaped, and it's already being put into action. I read it so you don't have to. I'm Kim from Kim's Breaking Point, where I share the news that the mainstream media often won't tell you. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss updates. And let's jump right into today's story. They call it Project 2025, but what it really is a manual for authoritarian takeover, a 900-page blueprint written by Christian nationalists, corporate billionaires, and right-wing think tanks, laying out step by step how to reshape the United States into something unrecognizable. You might think it's just another campaign, but it's not. This isn't about politics anymore. It's about power and who gets to keep it. Project 2025 was created by the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank shaping Republican policies for decades. Their goal? To make sure if Trump or anyone like him takes office again, they can take over the government starting at day one. They've built an actual presidential personnel database, tens of thousands of loyalists ready to flood government agencies, purge dissenters, and replace experts with ideologues. This isn't hypothetical anymore. It's already in progress. Let's start with education, because that's where the war on this next generation really begins. Project 2025 just doesn't reform education. It wants to eradicate the very idea of federal-supported learning. Under Trump's latest directives, the Department of Education has already begun gutting programs that serve millions of students, including those with disabilities and special needs. Federal protections that once guaranteed access to equal education are now being defunded piece by piece under the disguise of returning power to the states. But that's not empowerment. That's abandonment. They're forcing parents towards Christian nationalist homeschooling, charter schools that exclude disabled and queer students, and curriculums rewritten to erase the truth about slavery, indigenous genocides, and civil rights. And while they say they're restoring traditional values, what they're really doing is building an education caste system, one that benefits the wealthy, the white, and the obedient. They're not shrinking the government. They're shrinking access. Next, the control of our bodies. Cross red states. Project 2025, so-called pro-family agenda, has already become law. Abortion bans have expanded. Doctors are being criminalized for performing life-saving procedures, and new proposals would allow the government to track pregnancy outcomes through data collection. Yes, you heard that right. It's not about life. It's about control. LGBTQ plus rights are also under coordinated assault. Book bans, trans healthcare bans, pride flags removed from classrooms, all a part of the national strategy to re-engineer culture under the banner of biblical values. The same lawmakers cutting education funding are diverting millions to faith-based programs that can legally discriminate against LGBTQ plus people, because Project 2025 redefines religious liberty as the right to control others. When they say family values, what they really mean is control over your family's choices. And then there's immigration, a piece of 2025 that's unfolding right now in real time across America. In cities from Chicago to Los Angeles, we're seeing presidential orders sitting in ICE and military reinforcements into communities. Immigrant shelters are being raided. Families are disappearing overnight. Trump and his allies call it law and order. But it's not an order, it's occupation. This is the law and order doctrine of Project 2025. The idea that fear and force are tools of governance. Protests have erupted nationwide, from immigrant right groups to No King's Day demonstrations, all saying the same thing. This isn't border control. This is authoritarianism in motion. These policies don't just target immigration. They're redefining how power works, turning ICE, local police, and even the DOJ into political enforcement arms. And when the president starts using that type of power against anyone who resists, that's not democracy. That's a police state in the making. They're not protecting our borders. They're testing obedience. Now, if you read the fine print of the Project 2025, which I will link right down below so you can all go and read it for yourselves, this isn't a plan for better governance. It's a vision for control, one where the presidency operates unchecked, where religion dictates law, and where dissent, any dissent, is punished. Imagine a future where the government monitors pregnancies, censors books, and decides who you're allowed to love, when loyalty replaces expertise, and where the DOJ becomes an extension of the president's will. That's not democracy. That's dominion. But here's the thing. They're not unstoppable. They're strategic and they're organized, but they're not gods. Every authoritarian movement falls apart when people stop playing along. And that's what we're seeing now across the country. People are marching, protesting, speaking truth, from No King's Day to classrooms to courtrooms. This is what resistance looks like. This isn't the left versus right. This is freedom versus control. And the question is, what side are we on?
If there's any hate, it's coming from the White House itself. And it's coming from Donald Trump and his administration. And he's trying to make people think that it's a hate America protest. And it's far from it.
Project 2025 isn't the end of America. It's a test. And we get to decide how it ends. If this piece resonated with you, make sure that you're subscribed, liked, and sharing this out. I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you actually heard of Project 2025 or the Heritage Foundation before today? Or did you just think it was another conspiracy until now? I will have the Project 2025 tracker down below, and that just goes through and explains what's been done versus what they're still trying to do with Project 2025. And I'll also be linking Project 2025 down below as well. Stay informed, stay aware, and as always, keep pushing back.